Hi, YouTube. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good, not bad. I'm going to read you a few things that I've posted in my Facebook and here on YouTube in my community. If you don't have time to read, you might be interested in knowing the difference of who Jesus' mother was, um, Mother Mary, and his sister was Miriam, which was the whore, and Mary Magdalene was a follower of Christ. Let me read you a few things. Who killed both the Lord Jesus and their own prophets, and have persecuted us? They do not please God, and are contrary to all men. 1 Thessalonians 2:15. Okay. 2,000 years ago, Luciferians, there's no difference between them and now. I put a link to the Babylonians' most unholy book, the Antichrist Talmud. Is their motto, sin to win. I'm going to read you a few things out of there. If you read the Sanhedrin, the Zohar, the Talmud, you'll understand people aren't anti-Semitic. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, this is what Christ foretold us in John 8 and Matthew 23. They are liars and deceivers. To have confidence in and believe a lie, many truths have been spoken to counter it. Some say a lie is not believable unless 80% of it is true. What follows is mostly by Talmudists. Occasionally, they do admit some truths. They've got a lot of chutzpah. The modern Jew is the product of the Talmud. Michael Robinson, in the preface of Babylonian Talmud, page, let me see, it would be 16. In many ways, the Talmud is the most important book in the Jewish culture, backbone of creativity and national life. No other work has been comparable influence on the theory and the practice of the Jewish life, sharpening spiritual content and serving as a guide of conduct. Rabbi Arden Steinsaltz. The Talmud is the life book of the people. Most Judaism practiced today is not the 5 books of Moses you would find in the Talmud. Robert Michael Stein. And the book of Moses is the Torah, which is used to be considered Holy Scripture. Okay. Historian Lord P. Garner of Tel Aviv University concurs in his history of the Jews in modern times. Almost all Jews live within rich but constricted world Judaism. Like Islam and Christianity, Judaism claims to be the truth. The path and the life of the Jew was set forth and sacred writings summed up by rabbinic sages in law codes, whose prime source was the Talmud in its interpreters, Isaac D. Disraeli, whose son Benjamin Disraeli became a British Prime Minister, declared the Talmud forms the complete system of learning, ceremonies, civil canon laws of the Jews, treading indeed on all subjects. The Talmud to this day circulating hearts and bloods of the Jewish religion, whatever laws and customs and ceremonies we observe, whether we are Orthodox or conservative, Reform or merely spasmodic sentimentalists, we follow the Talmud. It is our common law. This is my God. Him and woke. This is my God. Judaism is not a religion of the Old Testament. Judaism is a religion of the Pharisees and is based on Babylonian Talmud. Judaism admits this with its own writings, and Judaism remains by far the greatest danger in the world, bar none. Wolfgang Walmer. The Jews are not the chosen people, though practically the entire church has succumbed to the propaganda that declares them so. The Jewish tinge of thought has, of late years, overspread many Christian statements, and uninstructed Calgary have proved more and more amenable to Jewish suggestion. Henry Ford. The Talmudics admit in their own writings the evil and privilege. The Talmud is proof of the following on the following website. Hakala.com is owned and written by Talmudists. They have got so much cups. Yeah, that's okay. They openly put this information on the World Wide Web, but so few white Christians have ever looked into it or seen the rumors going around about the Talmud are true or not. Is the Talmud really as evil as they say? You be the judge. Here we go. Try this. And although a married Gentile woman is forbidden to the Gentiles, in any case, a Jew is exempted. This does not imply sexual intercourse between a Jewish man and a Gentile woman is permitted. Quite contrary, but the main punishment is inflicted on the Gentile woman. She must be executed, even if she was raped by the Jew. If a Jew has let me see, my eyes are bugging out, just a second. Colitis with a Gentile woman, whether she be a child of 3 or an adult, whether married or unmarried, and even if he is of a minor age, only 9 years old and a day, because he had willful colitis or intercourse with her, she must be killed. And then, as is the case with a beast, because though her Jew got into trouble, the Jew, however, must be flogged, and if he is a Kohen, a member of the priestly tribe, he must receive double number of lashes because he has committed a double offense. A Kohen must not have intercourse with a prostitute, and all Gentile women are presumed to be prostitutes. Is Rabbi Sharrock, Jewish History, Jewish Region, Pluto Press, London, 1994, page 87. Okay, here's some more. Jews did not write the Old Testament. They have tricked practically everybody into thinking so, and all it takes is the customary glance at the Talmud, what the Talmud teaches, It is an exact opposite of the Christian Old Testament teachings of the Jewish Talmud, where a Jew should do evil. I'm not going to read their names. I'm going to just read what they say. You can look on my community. If a Jew is tempted to do evil, he should go to a city where he is not known to do evil there. Whosoever disobeys rabbis deserves death and punishment, and to be punished by being boiled in hot excrement in hell. Hitting a Jew is the same as hitting God. If a heathen Gentile hits a Jew, he must be killed. A Jew need not pay a Gentile the wages owed him for work. If an ox of a Israelite goes an ox of a Canaanite, there is no liability, but if an ox of a Canaanite goes an ox of an Israelite, the payment is to be in full. Jews may not steal from non-Jews. If a Jew finds an object lost by a Gentile heathen, it does not have to be returned. God will not spare the Jew who marries his daughter to an old man or take a wife for his infant son or returns a lost article to a Cretan, a Cushan. When a Jew murders a Gentile, there will be no death penalty. What a Jew steals from a Gentile, he may keep. The Gentiles are outside protection of the law, and God has exposed their money to Israel. Jews may use lies, subterfuges to circumvent a Gentile. Non-Jewish children are subhuman. All Gentile children are animals. Gentile girls are in a state of nada, filth, from birth. Gentiles prefer sex with cows. Here's what they said about Christ's mom. This is why the line's drawn in the sand, because she was raped. That's how Christ came about. Just think about this. Okay, the Sanhedrin, page 106a, says Jesus' mother was a whore. She who was the descendant of princes and governors played the harlot with carpenters. Also, in a footnote, is stated that in the uncensored text of the Talmud it is written that Jesus' mother, Miriam, that's not her, the hairdresser, had sex with many men. That's his sister. And gloats over Christ dying young. A passage from the Sanhedrin gloats over the early age of Jesus died. Hast thou heard how old Balaam Jesus was? He replied, it is not actually stated, but since it is written, bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, it follows that he was 33 or 34 years old. If you caught that. Okay, here's a little more. What you are about to read is based upon, what you are about to read is not based on the opinions of Jews, nor is it a okay. reversion made up by some skinhead, or what you are about to read is true opinions of Jews written by Jews themselves and their own words. Warning, do not read if you think Jews are innocent victims who are above reproach, or think that you are criticizing Jews automatically make someone anti-Semitic. For what you are about to read will shatter your delusions and myopic worldview. That is, unless you are indoctrinated into that mindset, and reasons is beyond you. The real quotes from real Jews. Here's what the Jews really think of you. Here's 25 quotes out of the Talmud, the Jewish book of faith, that gives me reason to despise them for their beliefs. Murdering Goyim is like killing a wild animal. Even the best of Goyim should be killed. Who pries into the law Talmud is guilty of death. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations would be equal to killing all of the Jews of the Goyas knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. If a Jew be called upon to explain any part of the rabbinic books, he ought to give only false explanations. To whoever will violate this order shall be put to death. Sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age. And that goes even worse. If it fits even in an infant, it's stated in there. Trust me, I've read it. Jews may swear falsely by use of subterfuge wording. Do not save Goyim in danger of death. Show no mercy to the Goyim. If it had to be proven that someone is given the money of an Israelite to the Goyim, a way must be found after prudent consideration to wipe him off the face of the earth. A Jew may keep anything he finds which belongs to the Goyim, for who returns the property to Gentiles sins against the law by increasing the power of the transgressors of the law. It is praiseworthy, however, to return lost property if it is done to honor the name of God, namely, if by so doing Christians will praise the Jews and look upon them as honorable people. A Jew should and must make a false oath when Goyim ask if the books contain anything against them. The Jews, are human beings, but the nations of the world are not human beings, but beasts. O Messiah comes, every Jew will have 2,800 slaves. Jehovah created the non-Jew in human form so that the Jew would not have to be served by beasts. The non-Jew, consequently, is an animal in human form and condemned to serve the Jew day and night. A Gentile girl who is 3 can be violated. A Jew may violate but not marry a non-Jewish girl. If a Goy kills a Goy, the Jew is he is responsible, but if a Jew kills a Goy, he is not responsible. It is permitted to kill a Jewish denouncer everywhere. It is permitted to kill him even before he denounces. All property of other nation belongs to the Jewish nation, which consequently is entitled to seize upon it without any scruples. How to interpret robbery. A goy is forbidden to steal, rob, or take women, slaves, etc. for a goy or from a Jew, but a Jew is not forbidden to do all this to a goy. God has given the Jews power over possessions and blood of all nations. When a Jew has a Gentile in his clutches, another Jew may go to the same Gentile, lend him money, and turn and deceive him, so that the Gentile shall be ruined. For property of a Gentile, according to our law, belongs to no one, and the Jew, and first the Jew that passes has full right to seize it. A Jew is forbidden to drink from a glass of wine which a Gentile has touched, because the touch has made the wine unclean. He who desires that none of his vows made during the year be valid, let him stand at the beginning of the year and declare, every vow which I make in the future shall be null. His vows are then invalid. In America, we aim for subtle victory while inflaming the Negro minority against the whites. We will endeavor to instill the whites a in in the whites a guilt conflict for their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life in the professional worlds of sports and entertainment. With this prestige, the Negro will be able to intermarry with whites and begin the process which will deliver America to our cause. And then they wrote, see why I'm leery of Jewish dominance in such areas of Hollywood and national media. I don't believe it's a coincidence at all. And the Jewish Talmud is satanic, every aspect of it. Here's part of a poem out of the Antichrist Talmud, Sin to Win. No more, nowhere can a secret keep, always secret, dark and deep. Half so well as in the past, buried deep to last and last. Keep it in your own dark heart, otherwise rumors start. After many years have buried secrets over which you worried, no confident can betray all the words you didn't say, only you can exhume the secrets safe within the tomb of memory, memory of a tomb of memory, the book of counted sorrows. Jesus is in hell being punished by being boiled in semen. Christians are boiled in dung. And then I wrote on top of this, do Rabbi teach this? After I looked, and behold, a great multitude that no one could number, for from every nation, from all tribes, all peoples, and all languages, standing before the throne, before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, with palm branches in their hand, and crying out with a loud voice, salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. Revelation 7:9-10. So I thought it was kind of important for you to hear some of the stuff out of that's not even the worst of it. but the mix that they've put um, for the Virgin Mary, she was a virgin when she was raped, and Joseph married her. They were engaged. You think about that. And yes, he was an older man that took a pregnant girl in and raised that baby as his own. And they're dirtying these people's names. And yes, God shined upon that little girl when she had a boy. And that's Christ. That's the Christ spirit that lives in all of us. And I think this is super important for people to understand exactly if you're supporting that Middle Eastern bullshit. You better read. I put a link to the Talmud. Just go look at it for yourself. It's online. The Sanhedrin's online. Read these things. Or believe what I'm telling you, one of the two. But you know, when people say, well, um, even Adam and Eve, we did not do anything wrong. Satan and his archangels did shit wrong. Not the first man or the first woman. It isn't like that. God did not make people imperfect like that. Satan implemented that out of jealousy. So I just want to make that really clear, and I'll find proof on that too. It'll come up somehow, some way. All of what I'm telling you will come out into the open sooner or later, you know? So, yeah, I'm gonna pop over back on Facebook and see what we got here today. There's some pretty good stuff people are putting out. I don't know, today seems to be a day like that. I don't know. Maybe. This is true. Walk a mile to avoid a fight, but when one starts, don't back down an inch. If I can't get away, then I would fight and it would hurt. Oh, maybe there isn't much more here. I'm going to have some noise coming up here. So I'm going to upload this one and I might be back later. I just wanted you to know what was said about Mary wasn't true. That's not even who they're talking about. And that's not even what happened. And you can hear what they wanted to do to that girl because she was raped. I'll leave you with that one. This is all true. So, and it's documented. These are things like the Jesuits, and the Vatican, they know all these things. They're going to be coming up. They're going to be saying all scriptures are fake. They're going to band together and do that coming up here in the future towards people to take God away from us. So, to try. Okay, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.